Here are a few things you should know about what's happened in America over the weekend, covering undermining democracy, suppressing dissent, and global destabilization. So, last week, the Pentagon announced a new generation press corps, which basically is just numerous right-wing, pro-Trump online outlets who said they were among those who'd agreed to the new Pentagon rules that all articles have to have official approval from the Pentagon. Almost all mainstream news outlets refused to sign the new agreement, and they lost access last week. On Friday, news emerged that the Pentagon had also accepted a $130 million donation to help pay troops during the government's shutdown. Now, the donor was Timothy Mellon, a reclusive billionaire, anti-tax crusader, and a major financial backer of Donald Trump. Now, the move to pay troops this way is really unusual and a potential violation of what's called the Anti-Deficiency Act, which prohibits federal agencies from spending money outside of what Congress has authorised. Because generally, you don't want military salaries paid for by anyone other than the state through legally appropriated public funds. Also on Friday, Trump suggested that former Special Counsel Jack Smith, former Attorney General Merrick Garland, and other Biden administration officials should be prosecuted over their involvement in investigations into his alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election results. And then Steve Bannon, a former Trump ally and a right-wing media executive, said that there is a plan for Trump to be president in 2028 for a third term. And today, Trump confirmed that he would love to do it if possible. The administration's also been suppressing dissent on various fronts. So on Saturday, Deputy White House Chief of Staff for Policy Stephen Miller told Fox News that anyone attempting to interfere with ICE operations could be arrested for engaging in a criminal conspiracy against the United States. And he explicitly included Illinois Governor Pritzker in that message. Yesterday, America arrested British Muslim journalist Sami Hamdi during a speaking tour. They revoked his visa and said he would be deported. Hamdi had been critical of Israel's actions in Gaza, and conservative activist Laura Loomer took credit for his arrest on Twitter. Now, more generally, the Financial Times interviewed dozens of really prominent people, including lawmakers, executives, military figures, Trump officials, and so on. And the Financial Times said that the fear of reprisal in some way was so strong that most of these people insisted on anonymity, even though they actually also said that the only way to restrain Trump is by powerful people opposing him publicly. And then the final thing I wanted to cover was global destabilization, where there are a couple of things going on. One is Canada. So a Canadian province aired an ad critical of the tariffs Trump has imposed on Canada. And the advert quoted Ronald Reagan, who was president in the 1980s and is an icon of US conservatism, saying that tariffs hurt every American. Now, Donald Trump, directly citing this ad, then announced an immediate end to all trade negotiations with Canada. Trump then doubled down on this a day later, saying he would punish Canada by putting an extra 10% on its tariff rate. And then the US is also increasing its military presence in the Caribbean in a major escalation. So the Pentagon deployed its top aircraft carrier, the USS Gerald Ford, there on Friday. The carrier holds dozens of fighter jets and is also accompanied by several other smaller warships. And then yesterday, the USS Gravely, a guided missile destroyer, docked in Trinidad and Tobago, which neighbours Venezuela. Now, last week, Trump said that he won't ask for a declaration of war from Congress against the South American drug cartels, but we're just going to kill people that are bringing drugs into our country. We're going to kill them. They're going to be like dead. For details on these actions and more, visit the TrumpActionTracker.info.